The second law of movement and of the spine is this idea that the head leads and the body follows. When movement is easy and free, this will happen naturally. When the head is leading and the spine is following, all movement is organized and supported dynamically. And it is that organization and support that gives movement breathtaking beauty and integrity. Oftentimes, people think that the head should lead from the top of the head. People who try to lead from there always create stiffness instead of freedom. So from where must the head lead the spine? From the space between your ears and behind your nose, where the top of the spine meets the bottom of your skull, also known as your top joint, your atlanto-occipital joint, and your primary control. Let's experience this ourselves. I want you to imagine that your head is 100 pounds and just let it collapse down into the ground. And as your head is falling down with gravity, notice how your spine and your body responds to that. Notice how your spine is also collapsing. So that's an example of your head deciding to move in one direction and your spine following that direction. So your spine and your head are collapsing downward. Now, from this collapsed state, I want you to imagine that the crown of your head is starting to float up to the ceiling. And notice how your spine is following the direction of your head floating upwards. And then let that go. And I want you to just slowly let your head tilt to your right, almost like your ear is trying to touch your shoulder, but very slowly and very gently. And then just notice that after a certain angle or a certain amount of movement, your spine starts to curve in the same direction as your head. And you can try that on the opposite side. So letting your head come back to neutral, and then letting your head tip to the left side. And let it keep going to the left, and you'll start noticing that your spine is starting to follow in the same direction. So those are examples of head leading and body or spine following.